Yes, Delina, Biruk, are you able to hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. So we were talking about the male reproductive system. I have explained you regarding the different organs which are found in the male reproductive system. We have discussed about the accessory glands also. Okay. Now I want to know from you. Okay, you are going to tell me things like what are the three pairs of glands, accessory glands, which are found in the male reproductive system. Come on, tell me now. Which glands, accessory glands, are found in the male reproductive system? Delina, do you know this? Who can tell me? Fikir, can you tell me?
Protest gland.
Prostate gland. And what else I said? Two more glands I told you. Prostate
Copper's gland.
Copper's gland, and one more. One more. Anybody else? Yes, Khaled?
Bulobutheral gland.
The seminal vesicle. See, we have the first accessory gland is the seminal vesicle. Okay, second one is the prostate gland, and here which you are able to see the bulbourethral gland, that is also called as the Copper's gland. Bulbourethral gland and the Copper's gland both mean one and the same. It's the other name of the bulbourethral gland. Okay, so there are three accessory glands. You should remember this thing. Now tell me, what is the function of the bulbourethral gland or the Copper's gland? How does it help the reproductive system? Eosis, can you tell me? Bulbourethral gland, what is the main function of it?
Bulbourethral?
Yes.
Mm,
Or the Copper's gland, both mean one and the same.
I think it's to lubricate.
It's to lubricate the sperms. Very good, it's right. Copper's gland or the bulbourethral gland are responsible for providing lubrication to the sperms. Okay. Then apart from that, we have prostate gland. Prostate gland's main function. Caleb, can you tell me what is the main function of the prostate gland? How does it help? Yes. Did you understand whatever I said you? All of you, please respond. Arsema, unmute once. Arsema, Delina, Fikir, Kalev, are you all able to hear me? Am I audible? Are you able to hear me or not?
Can you repeat the question, please?
My question is, what is the function of the prostate gland? Am I audible to you all, first of all?
Yes.
Then why aren't you responding?
Miss,
Yes. Yes,
can I
Khalid.
answer?
Yes, say.
I'm trying, but it is a gland or a hormone that makes breast to produce milk.
Okay. So, okay. Now, what I will do is, I have a short video for you. I'll just show you that. Okay. Please watch it carefully. Everything is explained once again here clearly in this. Then you'll be ready for my questions. Okay.
As compared to the male reproductive system, the female reproductive system is much more complex. Let us look over.
Okay, wait. In this, it is about the female reproductive system. So we'll see this later. Okay, we'll move back to the male reproductive system itself. Okay. See, I've explained you regarding the testis, structure of the testis. In the testis, we have the seminiferous tubules which produce the sperms, and in between the seminiferous tubules present the Leydig cells, okay, or the interstitial cells. The main function of the Leydig cells is to produce the hormone testosterone. Okay, then we have the epididymis, which is a storage site for the sperms. It stores the sperms for some time. And then there are two types of ducts which help in the transport of the sperms. First type of duct is called as a vasa efferens, and the second one is called as a vasa deferens. Okay, so if you look at these accessory glands, which I told you, there are a pair of seminal vesicles, okay, which will form the medium for the sperm transport. They produce one liquid which helps in the transportation of the sperms, okay, and they constitute the maximum amount of the semen also. Okay, the next one is the prostrate gland. This is bilobed structure. Okay, this is single, and its secretions are alkaline in nature, so they are going to neutralize the acidity in the female's vagina. Then the bulbourethral gland or the Copper's gland, this secretions of this gland, they act as lubricants. Okay, so if you look at the transportation of the sperms, it is from the seminiferous tubules to the vasa efferens, then to the epididymis, then to the vasa deferens, and out of the body. Clear? Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
See, here you can see the internal structure of the testis. Okay, testis will contain the seminiferous tubules, I said you. So these will be the seminiferous tubules which are going to produce the spermatozoa or the sperms. And these developing sperms, they will be given the nourishment with the help of the Sertoli cells. In the seminiferous tubules, there we have one more type of cells which are called as the Sertoli cells. Their main function is to provide nourishment to the developing sperms. Okay, and here you can see the interstitial cells or the Leydig cells. Okay, which produce the testosterone. So these things all you should know. Seminiferous tubules will produce the sperms, and the sperms will be given nourishment by the Sertoli cells. And the interstitial cells, which are also called as the Leydig cells, will be producing the hormone testosterone. Clear? Shall I proceed?
Yes.
Okay. Now, this already I've explained you how the transportation occurs, how the movement of the sperm occurs. Clear? Everyone understood this thing?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, now we will move towards the female reproductive system. So the female reproductive system, it comprises of, what does it comprise of? Now you tell me. What does the female reproductive system comprise of? Arsema? Do you remember what does it comprise of? What are the different parts present in the female reproductive system?
Ovaries,
Ovaries, and what else?
uterus,
Uterus, very good. Next,
vagina,
vagina, yes. And what else?
oviduct,
Oviduct, okay, very good. Okay, good. So these are the different parts which you said. So the female reproductive system, it comprises of a pair of ovaries, the uterus, the oviduct, which you said is also called as the fallopian tube. Okay, what do we call it as the fallopian tube? Now, and then cervix is present in the vagina and the external genitalia. The function of the ovaries is what? To produce the ova. Okay, and this process of producing the ova, that is called as the oogenesis. As I said you already, genesis means to prepare, to make. So if the sperms are made, that is called as a spermatogenesis, we said. When the ova are prepared, that is called as the oogenesis. Ova, oogenesis. Okay, so ovaries main function is production of the female gametes, that is called as the ova, and this process is called as the oogenesis. Okay, and in the female reproductive system also we have certain ducts. Like in the male reproductive system, we had the vasa efferens and the vasa deferens, the tubular structures which help in the transportation. Similarly, in the female reproductive system also, there are accessory ducts which are called as the oviducts. The oviducts are also called as the fallopian tubes. Oviducts, fallopian tubes, they are one and the same. Okay, you can call oviduct as a fallopian tube also. Okay, clear? What is the oviduct and what is the fallopian tube? You should not get confused. They mean one and the same. Then after that is the uterus, and then the vagina. Clear till here? Is it clear? The ovaries, and this is the fallopian tube. Okay, and when you study in detail about this fallopian tube, now you can see that the fallopian tubule is again divided into three parts. The first part, which is near to the ovary, this is the ovary, and near to ovary, the part which is present, you can see here the fimbrae, the finger-like projections. These are called as the fimbrae, you know. So this funnel-shaped structure of the fallopian tube, which you are able to see, this is called as the infundibulum. Okay, it is called as the infundibulum. So what is the main function of the infundibulum is, from the ovaries, when the ova is released, they will catch the ova. Okay, they are fimbrae, the hair-like structures, the projections, they will hold the ova and they will push it into the fallopian tube. Okay, and it passes into the infundibulum, and from this infundibulum, it moves on to the next part of the fallopian tube, which is called as a ampulla. So it is actually the place, ampulla, where the fertilization is going to occur. Okay, the ova can combine with the sperm in the fallopian tube. In the fallopian tube also, particular places, that is the ampulla. Here the fertilization process occurs. Then from the ampulla, the fallopian tube continues as the isthmus, which acts as the bridge where it is connected with the uterus. Okay, so if the ova is fertilized, or if it is not fertilized also, it is going to pass through the ampulla, and then from the ampulla it goes into the isthmus and then in the uterus. If it is fertilized, the embryo, the zygote will be implanted in the uterus. Okay, or else the wall of the uterus is going to rupture and bleeding occurs, which you are going to study in the menstrual cycle. Is it clear till here?
Yes.
Okay. Now, in the female reproductive system, there are 4 important hormones which you all should know. The foremost important hormone is the follicle stimulating hormone. The second one is the luteinizing hormone. Then the third one is estrogen, and then lastly we have the progesterone. Okay, each hormone is very, very important in the female reproductive system. The follicle stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone, estrogen, and the progesterone. Okay. Now, these are the different phases of the menstrual cycle. But before I show you the different phases of the menstrual cycle, as I said you that I have a small video for you regarding the female reproductive system. So we'll just have a look, okay, which will help you to understand better.
What is it made up of?
Are you all able to hear the audio?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
The female reproductive system is made up of ovaries and some other parts like the vagina, the uterus, the fallopian tube, the cervix, the vulva, and the clitoris. Let us begin with the most important part of female reproductive system, that is the ovaries. They are the reproductive glands and are made up of follicle cells, known as the Graafian follicle. These cells are responsible for the production of ova or the egg cell. And
now, see these Graafian follicles which are said to you here. In the ovaries, we have the glands. Okay, the glands in the initial stages, they are called as a primary follicle. Okay, and then the primary follicle is going to develop enormously into the secondary follicle, and then it develops into the Graafian follicle. Okay, from the Graafian follicle, the eggs will be produced. So first step is the primary follicle, then the secondary follicle, and then the Graafian follicle. So these 3 follicles together, that is the primary, the secondary, and the Graafian follicle, these 3 together constitute the follicular phase. Okay, so this is very important. And from the Graafian follicle, the egg will be produced. Clear? Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
the sex hormones, that is the progesterone and estrogen. Again, these cells are responsible for what? For the secondary sexual characteristics in females. The estrogen and the progesterone are stimulated by the follicle stimulating hormone and the luteinizing hormone. Where are they present? Yes, in your brain.
Yes, now this is very, very important point. See, the follicle stimulating hormone and the luteinizing hormone are required in the female reproductive system because they are going to induce the formation of the other two hormones, estrogen and progesterone, which are the very important female sex hormones. These will be produced only because of the follicle stimulating hormone and the luteinizing hormone. Now, these two hormones, they are produced from the pituitary glands. Pituitary glands are actually the endocrine glands. That is a master gland in our body. Okay. So when they give the order, then only the follicle stimulating hormone will be released and the luteinizing hormone will be released in the body. And these two hormones are responsible for the production of the two other hormones, that is estrogen and progesterone, which are the main sex hormones in the females. Clear?
Yes.
Is this
Yes.
point clear? Yes.
Pituitary gland. The next part that we're going to look into is the fallopian tube. This is a narrow tube that connects the ovaries to the uterus. Its function is to help the movement of the egg cell. Also, it forms the site for fertilization. Moving on to the third part, which is the uterus. Now, this one is a wide muscular tube and is responsible for the implantation of the fertilized egg. It is also responsible for the development of an embryo. The uterus forms the site for pregnancy. Proceeding further.
Yes. So is this clear to you about the uterus? In the uterus, what happens if the egg, which is released from the ovary, it passes into the fallopian tube. In the fallopian tube, in the ampulla region, fertilization takes place. From there, the zygote passes into the uterus. Okay. So if the zygote is formed, the uterus is going to accept it and the walls of it will become very thick. Okay. And then the embryo starts developing here. So implantation occurs if the egg is fertilized. Otherwise, the walls of the uterus are going to rupture, okay, and it starts bleeding. So uterus is actually the site for the implantation of the developing embryo. Clear?
The
Yes.
next part that we're going
Yes.
to look into is the cervix. This forms a ring of muscles just below the uterus and it opens up during menstruation and childbirth. Moving on to the last two parts, the clitoris and the vulva. The clitoris is the erectile sensitive tissue just like the penis and the vulva is the external female genitalia of the female reproductive system.
Clear? Did you all understand the female reproductive system? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. Now tell me, what are the 4 important hormones which are present in the female reproductive system?
Follicle stimulating hormone,
Follicle stimulating hormone and
progesterone,
Luteinizing hormone.
progesterone,
and estrogen.
Luteinizing hormone.
luteinizing hormone and estrogen. Okay. Now, which organ produces the follicle stimulating hormone and the luteinizing hormone?
Ovary.
No, ovaries do not produce the follicle stimulating hormone and the luteinizing hormone. Anyone? Just now we saw the luteinizing hormone and the follicle stimulating hormone, they are produced by
Egg cells.
no, the pituitary gland. They are produced by the pituitary gland. Okay, just now you saw, you didn't hear the video which I have shown you. Yes. Please pay attention and listen carefully. the follicle stimulating hormone and the luteinizing hormone, these two hormones are produced by the pituitary gland. Okay, and these two hormones are going to induce, or they are going to make the production of the estrogen and the progesterone, which are the female sex hormones. Okay, clear? Yes.
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 Okay. So now let's move on. Now this is about the menstrual cycle. In the menstrual cycle, there are actually 4 phases. Okay, the menstrual cycle, if you look at, it has 4 phases. The first phase is called as the menstrual phase. The second phase is called as the follicular phase. The third one is called as the ovulation phase, and the fourth one is called as the luteal phase. These are the 4 different phases of the menstrual cycle. Okay, so you should remember the names of these 4 phases. Can anyone please tell me what are the stages of the menstrual cycle? You have it on the screen. What are the different stages of menstrual cycle? Fikir, please unmute once. Fikir, please unmute. Yes.
Can you tell me the question?
My question is, what are the different phases of the menstrual cycle?
Menstrual phase,
Menstrual phase and see on the screen you can see. Okay, there are, how many phases are there?
4.
4. Can you please read out the names? What are those 4 phases?
Menstrual phase,
Menstrual phase, yes. Then
follicular phase,
follicular phase,
ovulation phase,
correct,
luteal phase.
and the luteal phase. Okay, so these are the 4 different phases. So here this is the diagram which shows you the 4 different phases. Okay, so this part from day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which you are able to see, this is called as the menstrual phase. Whenever the bleeding begins, that is called as the menstrual phase. So it lasts for about 4 to 5 days. After the menstrual phase, the second phase is called as the follicular phase. Okay, so from the 6th day to the 10th day almost, it will be the follicular phase. Okay, so during this follicular phase, what changes happen, that also I will be explaining to you. So what, just to have a look at this diagram first. Then the third phase is the ovulation phase. Okay, where the ova will be produced. Okay, so ova will be produced during the 11th to the 18th day. Okay, so this is a very important part. So during the ovulation phase, the estrogen will be produced at the highest amount to the maximum amount, and the ova also will be released. Okay, so fertilization can happen during this phase. After the ovulation phase, the last phase of the menstrual cycle is the luteal phase. Okay, this is the last phase. So here what happens, the uterus lining continues to thicken. Okay, and if the ovum remains unfertilized, then the uterus will contract in readiness to shed the build-up layer. Okay, so we'll see in detail now about these different phases. Yeah. Okay. During the menstrual phase, what happened? The first phase is the menstrual phase. During the menstrual phase, bleeding occurs because the ova is not fertilized. It enters into the uterus, and the walls of the uterus are going to rupture, and it starts bleeding, which lasts to about 4 to 5 days. That is called as the menstrual phase. After the menstrual phase, the second stage is called as a follicular phase. Okay, so the follicular phase, what happens in this? 2 hormones, which are called as the follicle stimulating hormone and the luteinizing hormone, just now which you have seen, which are produced by the pituitary gland. Where are they present? They are present near the brain. Okay, so they are going to reach the ovary via the blood. Now, the ovaries will be stimulated to produce the estrogen and progesterone. Okay, so the follicle stimulating hormone and the luteinizing hormones, they will stimulate the growth of about 15 to 20 eggs in the ovaries. Okay, and they will be called as a follicle. Many follicles will be formed, but of all these follicles, only one follicle is going to develop into the Graafian follicle. Okay, earlier we have seen that the Graafian follicle is responsible for the production of the ova. Okay, many follicles will be there, but out of all the primary follicles, one becomes very dominant, one becomes very prominent and dominant. It develops into the secondary follicle and then ultimately develops into the Graafian follicle, which produces the ova. Okay, so when the level of the estrogen rises, then the follicle stimulating hormone is going to increase and it helps in the production of the estrogen, and the ova will be produced. As the follicular phase progresses, one follicle in one ovary becomes dominant and it continues to mature. This dominant follicle suppresses all the other follicles in the group. Okay, as I said you, there will be a number of primary follicles, but out of them, only one is going to develop. Okay, and then the ova will be released. Then after this follicular phase, we have the next phase, which is called as the ovulatory phase. During this phase, what happens? The ova will be produced, and it falls between the follicular phase and the luteal phase. The ovulatory phase, it begins after about 14 days from the follicular phase started. Okay, most women will have the menstrual period for 10 to 16 days after ovulation. During this phase, what happens? The rise in the estrogen. There is a sudden rise in the levels of the estrogen in the body. Okay. And the luteinizing hormone is also produced, so which is only going to induce the formation of the estrogen. So the egg will be produced in the ovary, and as the egg is released, I said you, from the ovary, the egg or the ova will be passing into the fallopian tube. The fallopian tube is again divided into three parts, I said you. The finger-like structures which are located near the ovary, they are called as a fimbriae. Okay, it forms a part called as infundibulum. It is like a funnel. So these fimbriae will sweep the egg, the ova, into the fallopian tube. Okay, they are going to suck the ova into the fallopian tube. Then from the infundibulum, the ova passes into the ampulla. And in the ampulla, it is the place ampulla where the fertilization occurs. From the ampulla through the isthmus is also the part of the fallopian tube. From there, it enters into the uterus. Okay, so this is all the things which happen during ovulation. Okay, and when the ova is released, if the sperms they fertilize it, then you can say that the pregnancy occurred. And if the sperms do not combine with the ova during the ovulation period, then pregnancy doesn't occur. This is also a very, very important question which is asked in your exams. Is it clear? The ovulatory phase?
Yes.
Yeah. Then the last phase is the luteal phase. Okay, so at the end of the ovulation, the next last phase is the luteal phase. Once it releases its eggs, the empty ovarian follicle develops into a new structure called as the corpus luteum. See, the Graafian follicle, we have seen that the Graafian follicle, it has produced the ova. Now, what is going to happen to that Graafian follicle after the ovulation is done? In the luteal phase, what happens? The Graafian follicle is going to change into the structure which is called as a corpus luteum. Okay, the corpus luteum, it secretes hormones like estrogen and progesterone. Now, progesterone, why is it important? Because progesterone, it prepares the uterus for the fertilized egg to implant. Okay, once the egg is fertilized, it should be implanted. It should be embedded into the uterus properly. Okay, so for that, a hormone is required, that is the progesterone. Okay, so once the ovulation is done, then the corpus luteum will be formed, which helps in the production of the progesterone. Okay, so this is very, very important for you to remember that if during the ovulation phase intercourse occurs and the male sperm has fertilized the egg, then the fertilized egg will travel through the fallopian tube to implant the uterus, and the woman will be considered as pregnant. If the egg is not fertilized, it passes through the uterus and not needed to support a pregnancy. The lining of the uterus is going to break down and it sheds, and next menstrual period begins. So this is what happens in the luteal phase. Okay. So during pregnancy, there will not be menstrual cycle. The menstrual phase stops here only. So the luteal phase only will be the end till the birth of the child. Clear? Now here you can see how the egg will be produced. See, In the ovary, if you see the structure of the ovary, internal structure, you can see the primary follicle, which develops into the secondary follicle, okay, and then ultimately into the Graafian follicle or the tertiary follicle, which produces the ovum. The ovum will be released and they will be swept in by the fimbrae, which are located near. Here you can see this fimbrae, infundibulum part. So this is going to suck the ovum. Okay, and after the ovum passes into the fallopian tube, then fertilization occurs and all those things. This Graafian follicle is going to change into the corpus luteum. This corpus luteum produces the progesterone, which is required for implantation of the developing embryo. Okay, so this entire process of production of the clear, everyone?
Yes.
Okay, so these are all the different stages which I have explained you. What happens? The first phase, the second phase, the third phase, and the fourth phase. First phase is also called as the menstrual phase. Second phase is called as the what do we call the second phase? Can anyone tell me? After menstrual phase, which phase we have?
Follicular phase.
Follicular phase. Very good. After follicular phase,
Ovulation.
ovulatory phase. Next, after that,
The luteal phase.
luteal phase. The last phase is the luteal phase. Okay. So these are the 4 different phases in the menstrual cycle. Okay. So at the end, we'll just see a small video of the menstrual cycle also, and then we will end up the session.
So friends, do you all recall we spoke about the secondary sexual characteristics at the beginning of this lesson, and we said that we are going to learn about menstruation. Let us now look into menstruation in detail. What is this? It is a monthly cycle that goes on in a woman. The menstrual cycle continues in women until they get pregnant or they hit menopause. Now you all are wondering, what is menopause? It is the age.
Yeah. I want you to tell me what is menopause. Please, someone tell me what do you mean by menopause?
Is the age when a woman stops giving birth to a child.
Okay, the menstrual cycle stops at menopause. Okay. And what do you mean by menarche? What is the meaning of menarche? The beginning of the menstrual cycle, you know, the menstrual cycle begins at puberty. So that beginning of the menstrual cycle, it is called as a menarche, and the end of it, okay, that is called as a pause. Pause and itself shows you pause means to stop. So menopause, menstrual cycle stops, that is called as a menopause. Okay, usually at the age of 50 to 55, we can see menopause happens. Okay.
When the menstrual cycle stops and marks the end of giving birth. The age is generally between 45 to 50 years. Let's dive into the details of menstruation. The cycle of menstruation takes place in 2 phases. First is the ovulation phase and then is the menstruation phase. Looking into ovulation, it means that the egg is released every month from the ovaries. This phase generally happens after 14 days of menstruation. Now coming to menstruation. In very, very simple words, it is the outflow of blood through the vagina. Menstruation has 3 phases. The first phase is the menstrual phase. The second one is the proliferative phase. And the third one is known as the secretory phase. Let us now look into the characteristics of the menstruation phase. During this phase, blood is lost through vagina. This phase generally lasts for about 3 to 5 days. In addition to this, there is also the breakdown of the wall of the uterus. Next is the proliferative phase. This is also known as the follicular phase. During this phase, there is the release of the egg, which is known as ovulation. This phase generally happens happens after 9 to 10 days of your menstruation.
Just now, the phase which we have seen, the follicular phase. So proliferative phase or follicular phase, both mean one and the same. Okay, the Graafian follicles are going to produce the ova during this phase. Okay, proliferate means to develop. That's why we can even say that this is called as a proliferative phase, because the ova develops during this phase, and it is actually because of the action of the follicles, the primary follicle, the secondary follicle, and the Graafian follicle. That's why it is also given the name as a follicular phase. Okay, so the ovum will be produced in this phase.
And there are changes that occur in the wall of the uterus as well as the ovaries. The ovaries start releasing the hormone estrogen. In addition to this, the wall of the uterus thickens and blood vessels start developing. We are now going to look at the last phase, that is the secretory phase, also known as the luteal phase. Now, this phase lasts from the 14th day up till the 28th day of menstruation. What are the changes that take place? Well, the ovary starts producing the hormone progesterone. And this hormone then thickens the wall of the uterus. Now, if the egg is fertilized, the uterus will implant the egg. But if the egg is not fertilized, at the 28th day, the level of progesterone hormone will drop down. Due to this, the wall of the uterus will start breaking down and the menstruation phase will begin.
Okay, that means what progesterone is very, very important for the developing embryo. It helps in the implantation of the embryo in the uterus. And if the ova is not fertilized, then the progesterone levels then decrease suddenly. Okay, because of which the walls of the uterus are also going to break down and it is going to rupture and bleeding occurs. Okay, so because secretion happens here, we call it as a secretory phase, and it is also called as a luteal phase. Clear?
Again.
Yes.
Let us now summarize
Yes.
the entire process of menstruation. The cycle lasts about 28 days. By convention, the days are generally counted from the beginning of the menstruation phase, that is the bleeding. Let us divide the days from 1 to 28. 3 to 5 days is the menstruation phase, followed by the critical period from the 10th to the 18th day. And then comes the safe period. Now, if sexual intercourse.
Now see here, this 1 to 5 days, this is called as a menstrual phase because this is the menstrual cycle part. And from the 6th day onwards till the 18th day, we can say that this is the follicular stage. And then after the follicular stage, the ovulation phase here. So this is the critical period because ovulation period is there in this. In the critical period, ovulation occurs, ova is produced. So if sexual intercourse happens during this critical period, during the ovulation, fertilization can happen. But after that, after the ovulation phase, we have the luteal phase. During the luteal phase, what happens? The progesterone levels are going to come down. Okay. So walls of the uterus may break. So at that time, the ovum is not fertilized and it is, wasted. So we can say that this is a safe period. Okay. So nothing, there is no risk of anything at this period, we can say.
Place during the critical period, chances of pregnancy become very high. However, if sexual intercourse takes place during the safe period, that is from the 18th day to the 28th day, then the chances of pregnancy are low. There are certain characteristics of the menstruation phase that the women face. These are generally due to the changes in hormones or the contraction of the uterus. The characteristics are menstrual pain, abdominal pain, and emotional sensitivity. With this, I hope you all have understood what menstruation is and how does the entire cycle take place.
Right? Is it clear to everyone? Did you all
Yes.
understand? Okay. Any queries you
Yes.
have? Any queries regarding the reproductive system you have?
No.
Shall we end up? Yes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Okay, then we'll stop today. Bye bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, ma.